Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike, and thanks for jumping on here with me this morning. Did you hear the announcement that came out of Zillow yesterday about their new procedure that they're calling their touring agent program? Now, this is in response to the changes that are coming our way this summer that will require all of us to have a signed buyer brokerage agreement prior to showing the first house. Right? So Zillow's, what they call touring agent program, is essentially this. It's essentially a 7-day, non-exclusive buyer brokerage agreement with no stated compensation to the agent. Basically, you get a free look for a week with no obligation to us. Seems like I've heard that somewhere before. I mean, didn't we discuss this ourselves about a month ago? Didn't we talk about this and the non-exclusive? I mean, everybody's losing their minds, right? So, I mean, your friends, your sphere of influence, people that you're closely connected to, sure, they'll probably sign an exclusive BBA with you, but like leads that you get, prospects that don't know you, well, they're probably not willing to do that, especially prior to the first showing, right? So this is going to be the end of the real estate agent, and we won't be able to help buyers anymore, and commissions are, oh my God. Everybody, just take a deep breath and quit losing your minds, okay? And quit going to overly dramatic conclusions and think your way through this. Touring agent program with Zillow. Yeah, it's a non-exclusive, why don't you call it what it is, Zillow? It's a non-exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. And that's what you do with people when you're first getting to know them. And then after they learn to feel comfortable with you and they see that you can actually help them and they want you to, then they might be willing to transfer over to an exclusive BBA, but not at first. I mean, you didn't go out on the first date with your spouse and get married, right? You dated for a while and you had a non-exclusive dating period, right? You didn't go out on your first date and say, that's it, we're not going out with anybody else, just us, we're exclusive from this point forward after the first date. Because that would be ridiculous. Well, this is the same way. And we're already a month ahead of this, right? So folks, significant change is coming. It is coming our way this year. And I really think it's all for the better. As a matter of fact, I'm just old enough to remember 4 or 5 significant changes to the industry just during my career. And you know what? Every single time we lost our minds and rode the drama roller coaster with it, only to find out that it was better. We should have been doing this all along. And this is, I think, just another example of this. Yes, BBAs will become mandatory. So, you don't want to you have a written agreement with your listings. For everybody that's ever showed homes to a home buyer and they went back to that builder and bought the house without you and you had to get into a fight over your commission or your buyer wasn't loyal to you and they wasted a lot of your time, this isn't better than that? Yes, you'll have to address compensation up front with your customers, but that's not better than them not understanding how it all works and going out and cutting you out of a deal and buying a for sale by owner or a new construction or from some seller that didn't feel any obligation to honor your working agreement with the buyer. That's not better than that? Of course it is. Yes, some buyers will be reluctant to commit, but that was always been true, hasn't it? And do you really want to run around, spend your time and your effort working with people that feel no loyalty or obligation back to you? You want to marry somebody that doesn't love you? I don't. So if this just flushes it out earlier in the process and we have less heartache stories to tell throughout our career, that's better, unless you like being a victim and woe is me and look what all these terrible people did to me. Yeah, you won't be able to do that anymore. You'll have to find something else to complain about. No, it's going to be better. But like we might get lower commissions. Sometimes you will, and sometimes you won't. I guess it's going to depend on a lot of things. But for everybody that's ever had their buyer fall in love with the listing that wasn't offering you adequate compensation in the listing, and it was a license law violation and a code of ethics violation for you to try to negotiate your commission, well, that's not going to be true anymore. So now you can get in there and you can negotiate for the fee you think you deserve. And that's not better. Well, sometimes we might get less, and sometimes you might get more. I guess it probably depends on the property, how much demand in the marketplace is for the property, how long that property's been on the market, the motivation of the buyer and the seller, how about the market conditions in the economy. All these things will probably factor in house to house. But I've lived through enough markets, and if you haven't yet because you're relatively new to the industry, buckle up your seatbelt because you're going to. Economies change, markets change, and you're going to go through a marketplace sometime in the near future where sellers will beg you to please show their home, and they'll offer you all kinds of incentives. And when that happens, you're going to be thinking, wow, this is a lot better. I'm getting paid more. Getting paid less, I could see it happening. I can see it happening in the other direction too. But it's not just with this stuff, is it? No, it's a lot more. AI, it's influencing and making a bigger impact in our business faster than I expected. But that's good. It gives us more. Well, it's going to replace the real estate agent. Oh, bullshit. The dishwasher didn't replace your mom. It just made cleaning up after dinner a whole lot easier, right? Yeah. Technology's not your enemy. It can be your friend if you learn how to use it. Market conditions are tight and difficult. They are. Interest rates are remaining stubbornly high. Yep, they are. Well, that eats into affordability. Might make some buyers reluctant, and it impacts on what they can purchase. Yep, all that's true. All this combines to make it harder. And I love that. And I want you to come to love that. And here's why. It's really pretty simple. Most people don't do hard. Most people don't do hard. They want things to be easy. How about you? Do you do hard? I do. If you do hard, then you don't want it to be harder. You don't want it to be hard. You want it to be harder. You want it to be so hard that only you and I can do it. And all these other people that are getting in our way and siphoning off one or two transactions at a time, I call them weak asses. They ain't committed. They're part-timers. They might not even be part-time. They just have a license. And when things are easy, they siphon off just enough deals from you to be like a mosquito bite. It just irritates you. It doesn't kill you. It just irritates the hell out of you. And you wish these people would just either game up or get out. Oh, they're getting out. They're getting out in droves right now, just like they always do when things get hard, because they don't do hard. Will you take advantage of the changes? Will you welcome them? Will you embrace them? Will you look for your unique advantage and how you can take advantage of this? Or are you going to let it run you off? Because it's a little too hard, Snowflake, and you don't like to do hard. You want things to get easier. Will you just stay at home, work from home, don't game up, don't skill up, because that's what we got going on here all day long, every day, is helping you game up and skill up to take advantage of all this stuff. And the people that do hard, they're going to take advantage of all that stuff. And we're going to work together and roll our sleeves up, and we're going to make it happen. And the other people are just going to stay at home and work from home and complain and whine, and they're going to get run off. This marketplace for the next few years is going to be about the people that like hard. They want it to be harder. They want it to be so hard that all the weak asses just curl up in a ball and go away. This is all going to be for the better, folks. It is. It's going to be for the better of the people who are committed, who are full-time professionals, who want to do something in this business and want to help their customers. Oh, and I'm here all day, every day to help you do that. And we've got a big staff to do the same thing with a lot of resources that most people aren't going to take advantage of because they just wanted this to be easy. And I want those people to go away. How about you? Which kind of person are you? Well, let's find out. Are you going to get out there and you're going to make it happen for yourself today?